My goodness, guys. Stocks are ripping across the board today. All-time highs hit on the Qs, on the Russell, and the S&P is about to hit all-time highs as it's up around 0.75%. The Qs are up 1.25%, and the Russell's leading the gains today, up over 1.6% as the Dow's up. Let's see, guys, about 250, 300 points, up around 0.5%. And look, Bitcoin's up almost 2%. The VIX is down, oil's down, Brent and WTI. It's one of those days, man. It is one of those days, and we have a lot to cover, from charts to earnings to memory stocks. Memory, oh my goodness, man. Micron, SanDisk, they're going through the roof right now, so we have a lot to break down. Hit the like button, consider subscribing, join the Patreon if you guys want to keep up with my portfolio updates and my private Discord. That's linked down below, also pinned in the comments, or go to stocksurfest.com/Patreon. And now, cheers. I appreciate you all for tuning in. As always, got my coconut water here with some watermelon. Yeah, we're a little bougie today, guys. And also we have some Starbucks. I got my I don't go to Starbucks often, but when I go, I usually get the iced brown sugar oat shaken espresso. It's so good, man. I freaking love it. I get another shot of espresso, and I mentioned how they usually butcher my name. Well, today they got it right. It's a freaking miracle. Cheers, guys. I appreciate you all for tuning in, as always, and let's dive into it. So, all-time highs on the Qs at 682, the Russell as well at 2,842 points, and the S&P is about, a dollar less than, or a little more than $1 away from all-time highs. We're pretty much right there, as, again, we're up across the board. The VIX is down 5%. Oil's finally seeing a breather today, so I'll take it. And it looks like we're continuing the momentum that we've been seeing. We had a little drawdown yesterday on SPY. Looks like we kissed right off that 180 SMA here on the 1 hour chart, and we're starting to run right through the 50 SMA, back over the EMA as well. We're seeing a golden cross here. So SPY looks like, again, all-time highs are about to hit. The Qs, we hit them already, and I think, look, we're going 700, maybe before June by the looks of it. That might be a little crazy, but definitely in my opinion, in the back half of the year, I think Qs are going to 700. I was saying that when they were at 630, 40, 50. So I'm loving the way that's shaping up right now. And Bitcoin's the ultimate risk on asset, right, guys? When you're seeing Bitcoin moving, that's when we're slowly heading back to risk on, and we have been here for a couple weeks, like a month and a half now. And Bitcoin is not fully out of the woods. I want to show you guys this chart right here. Then we'll talk about memory stocks, a couple earnings from this morning. So make sure you guys stick on throughout the video. Bitcoin right now is up a lot off that 60K low, no doubt. It's up around $22,000 per Bitcoin, or about 33%, but we're still not out of this trend line that I just drew, and it's such a big resistance, guys. We can see now we're at 82, let's say 82K, a nice round number. That was support back in the end of November, all throughout, let's see, the end of January. We fell right through it. Got to about 60K by the early days of February, and that's kind of where we bottomed for now. And look, we're right back to 82K. We're meeting that new resistance, which was support. This is a big spot. If we can get the bulls to push through here on Bitcoin, I see this filling the gap to 95K if momentum really picks up, right? Which I think it could at that point if we break this technical level. I think there are a lot of buyers waiting for that, waiting to play this gap. And man, it's a wide open gap. If Bitcoin breaks 83, we could be making, let's say, another 10-15% move up to 95K. And think about what that would do to stocks like Robinhood, Coinbase, Circle Internet Group, all these, crypto stocks well, I don't want to say Robinhood's a pure crypto stock, but Circle, Coinbase, obviously they're more so that. Those would go nuts. Robinhood, which gains a good amount of their, revenue, their trading volumes from crypto, it would go up, right? It's not 100% a crypto stock, but with Bitcoin going to 90, 100K, there's no doubt in my mind Robinhood's going to go towards $100 a share, maybe higher. Today it's up around 0.5%. Robinhood's up around like $7, $8 from that low, which is nice, up around 11%. And I think there's still a lot more juice left in Robinhood. If you think you're late, if you think you missed the bottom, I think there's a lot more room to go. And I'm long personally, and that's one of the ways I'm playing the rebound in crypto. Obviously, I own Bitcoin itself. By itself, but I'm also also in Robinhood. I'm not in Coinbase or Circle Internet Group. I used to own Circle, took my profits on that, but that's kind of where I'm at there. Big moves in these names the last couple of days, and I think it's just getting started. So let me jump into memory. Holy smokes, man. Micron, oh my goodness, blow off top rally here on Micron. Talk about performance, man. 10% gain today as the Nasdaq's up only 1%, only. I mean, 1.25%. That's a great day for the Nasdaq. And Micron, which has been up like crazy, goes up another 10% today. So we're getting a lot of buy ratings. Price targets are getting increased. We'll talk about that in a second. And at this point, it's just a pure momentum stock, and the fundamentals obviously back it. It's not one of those baseless stocks, you know what I mean? The fundamentals are getting better and better, and it just hit 600 billion last week, I think. Now we're at like a 730 billion market cap. People are saying it could go to $1 trillion, and look, at some point it's going to get a big pullback. We're going to get a massive drawdown, but it's not looking like that's right now, and really any mini little pullback we get, buyers are hopping all over it. And this momentum, again, will turn eventually. Now there's a ton of buyers, but we're going to get, a ton of sellers at one point, but it doesn't look like that's now. And people are saying we're not going to see that for a little bit here. Let me actually show you this article very quickly. Might as well break this down. We do have, again, a good amount of buy ratings, a lot fresh increases in price targets. So let me show you guys this right here. We can see Micron's ripping, blah, 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 as a powerful combination of street-high analyst price targets and severe AI-driven memory supply constraints sent the stock to the top of the S&P leaderboard. D.A. Davidson launched coverage with a buy rating and a bold $1,000 price target on Micron, far above the roughly 560 analyst mean at the time, the highest on Wall Street, which is, who's higher than 1,000? I haven't seen higher than 1,000. And Melius Research simultaneously initiated a buy and a $700 price target, seeing AI demand for high bandwidth memory, DRAM, and NAND extending the memory upcycle through the decades. And while TD Cowen lifted their target to 660 from 550, and their CEO framed the company's position quite bluntly, right? Asserting that AI has not just increased demand for memory, it has fundamentally recast memory as a defining strategic asset in the AI era, right? And he noted that Micron can fulfill only 50% to 2/3 of key customer demand in the medium term, with data center bits set to exceed 50% of industry total addressable market for the first time in calendar 2026. Adding a fresh product catalyst, Micron announced on today's date, get this, it is shipping the 200 terabyte Micron 660 ION SSD in U.T, or 2 rather, and E3L form factors for AI, cloud, enterprise, and hyperscale workloads, with the model requiring 82% fewer racks versus HDD-based deployment. So that's another catalyst here sending it going higher. And memory costs, guys, have emerged as a major budget driver for 2026 with three of the world's biggest technology spenders confirming the trend, right? We're seeing this across a lot of earnings. So Micron, guys, it's, the demand's through the roof, supplies constrained. They got the economics behind them, you know what I mean, when it comes to kind of a key formulation here for this type of move, and they're just dominating. They're dominating the industry, and I'm not saying that they're going to collapse. Look, this could go a lot higher. It could go to 700, 800, right? But there's going to be a pullback, and if you're not locking in profits along the way, if you're not trimming, if you're not taking gains, in my opinion, you're being greedy, too greedy. Considering the stock's up from $100 back in August, we just hit $315 back in early April, a month ago, literally. It's doubled, literally, guys. So keep that in mind. Micron's going nuts. SanDisk is also continuing to go, which you can see right here if I pull it up. SNDK is up another 10%. I mean, this stock was at $40 back in August. It was at $550 back in April. And this reason right here is a reason why people are not going to sell Micron, or they're hesitant to, or even trim, because they're like, oh, Stas, SanDisk went from $550 to $1,400. It pretty much, SanDisk went up 150% in the last month. Why can't Micron do that? $1,000, $1,200. I mean, it could. I get it. I see the reasoning there. But again, don't get too greedy. Just because SanDisk did it doesn't mean Micron can do it as well. You got to realize SanDisk is a $250 million market cap. When it was at $500 a share, $600, it was at what? I mean, a 90 million market cap, 100 million, whatever it was at. If my math's right, it could be off. It probably is. So it was a much smaller market cap, $100 billion to go to, 250. It doesn't take nearly as much as for Micron to 2x from here, 3x from here. I get the reasoning. Oh, SanDisk did it. Hold on to Micron, right? It's a way bigger company. Micron's like 3 times the size of SanDisk. So for it to go up another double to go to 1.5 trillion, it's possible, but it's going to take way more money. So keep that in mind. And yeah, I mean, oh my God, these stocks have gone berserk to the point where, look, I've been in the market now for over a decade. I've seen this before, right? And in recent memory, we've seen it with Nvidia, we've seen it with Palantir, we've seen it with Tesla going a little farther back. These parabolic hundreds of percent, thousands of percent moves. We've seen this, guys, but man, in recent memory, these are the craziest movers that I've seen. It's not even close. And they're big companies, right? Crazy industry trends here that we're seeing, and these names are cyclical. Keep that in mind. So eventually, when this boom is over, let's say it takes a year, 2-3 years, there's going to be a cataclysmic drop in Micron stock and SanDisk. It's going to happen, guys. These are cyclical stocks, but we're not there yet, man. We are nowhere near that yet, and we're going to get pullback still, 10, 15, 20%. But those cataclysmic, those drops that you get from it being a cyclical name, we're not there yet. Nowhere near that yet, in my opinion. So we got some earnings. PayPal reported today, and I'm not a big fan of PayPal. I've said this before. It's down 9% on the day after earnings. And look, I bought this stock years ago. I held it. You guys probably remember that. I sold it before it hit 300. I forget exactly where that was or where I sold it, but it was years ago, and since that point, they've had a lot of competition. The growth slowed down. The story's not the same, and I'll be honest, I got to go back and really revisit PayPal to form, I guess, a new opinion based on today's numbers, but I just don't even care to. It's at that point where it's like the glory days are behind it. It could be a value trap here, so I'm not too excited about it. But who knows? Maybe PayPal proves us wrong. But EPS came in at, let's see, $1.34 on adjusted EPS rather, $1.34 versus the $1.27 expected on sales of 8.35 versus 8.04 billion. So double beat out of PayPal, not too bad. But again, it's not enough. And the stock was down already a lot heading into earnings. And it spent the last quarter filling the gap up from the previous earnings dump. I mean, look, the stock back in February went from 53 down to about 38. So it took the elevator down, stairs back up, right? We filled that gap, and now we're going right back down. That is not a good sign, man. Not a good sign on these charts. Let's see. Shopify, I think, is dumping as well. Man, Shopify is down 14%. Oh, my goodness. And they tanked last quarter as well, it looks like. Very big drop last quarter. So Shopify adjusted EPS came in at 36 cents versus 33 cents expected on sales of 3.17 versus 3.08 billion. So double beat out of Shopify. They see Q2 sales of 3.4 to 3.45 billion versus 3.39 billion expected. So double beat. Nice guidance above the estimates, but still not enough to keep the stock up here. And it's now testing a multi-month support. This is a big level for Shopify, man. Keep your eyes on it at about 110, 108. Very critical. If it breaks through that point, we could be seeing some lower lows in the making. So I'm going to wrap it up here, guys. We're about 16 minutes in. Oh, by the way, Intel. Oh, my goodness. Forgot to mention Intel. That one's mooning again as well. 13% up. Be careful. I know I was saying this about Intel when it was at like $80, but I'm still going to say it. Don't be scared to trim. Don't be scared to be greedy, lock in profits, because if this turns down 20, 30% and you're like, oh man, you can't get those gains back unless it goes back up even more than 20, 30%, and you're going to have to wait a little bit more for that. So yeah, I mean, the momentum's through the roof, but again, don't let it cloud your judgment. Take some profits. Let some ride. Let some shares ride if you want, but don't be greedy. So with that being said, guys, hit the like button, subscribe, join the Patreon for my portfolio updates and my private Discord. I post all my trades, investments, all my options move, private Discord. All that's through Patreon. Link down below, pinned in the comments as well, or go to stasurfs.com/Patreon. And with that being said, cheers. I'll see you all in the next video.